Lovely viewers, gather around because today's story will make your hearts melt, your eyes shimmer, and your smiles stretch wider than ever. Picture this. The house is peaceful, the lights are dim, and everyone assumes the night is just another ordinary evening in the Minho Haiko household. But what no one knew until this moment was that Minho had quietly made a decision that would touch every heart in the world. Instead of going to their luxurious bedroom, instead of sinking into the comfort of his own bed after a long day of schedules and responsibilities, he tiptoed into the nursery, just to spend the whole night watching their newborn twins sleep. Lovely viewers, can you imagine that? A global superstar, handsome, busy, admired everywhere, choosing the simplest, purest moment over anything else. No spotlight, no cameras, no audience. Just a father mesmerized by the tiny lives he helped bring into the world. The nursery was softly lit with that warm golden glow that makes everything feel magical. Two little cribs stood side by side, and Minho moved quietly between them, almost afraid to breathe too loudly. He leaned over each crib with that tender look only a new parent can understand, the kind of gaze that says, "I would protect you with everything I have." He gently tucked their blankets, adjusted their tiny mittens, and even brushed a few strands of their baby-fine hair off their foreheads. And here's the part that will make your heart do a gentle somersault. He sat down in the rocking chair beside them, folded his hands, and just watched. Hours passed. The world outside slipped deeper into the night. But inside that nursery, time felt frozen, a bubble of love, warmth, and peace. Every tiny twitch from the twins made him smile softly. Every little sigh from them pulled him closer. Whenever one of them wiggled or breathed differently, he sat up straight, ready to rush to their side like the most dedicated father in the world. Lovely viewers, imagine how deeply he must have loved those babies to stay awake just to watch over them. Meanwhile, Song Haikyo woke up around 2 a.m. and noticed Minho wasn't in bed. For a moment, she was confused, but her mother's instinct guided her straight to the nursery. And when she opened the door, she found him there, quiet, peaceful, eyes filled with pure tenderness. She didn't say anything at first. She just stood by the doorway, holding her breath, watching the man she loves, watching the children they made together. And for a moment she felt overwhelmed, grateful, emotional, proud. It was like witnessing a scene from the most beautiful romantic drama she'd ever starred in. Except this time it wasn't acting. This was real. This was her life. She walked softly toward him and gently placed a hand on his shoulder. He looked up, embarrassed but smiling. And do you know what he whispered? "I don't want to miss a single second of them." Those words hit her like a warm wave. Viewers, imagine hearing something like that from the father of your children. Suddenly, she sat beside him, leaned her head on his shoulder, and together they watched the twins sleep. Two parents, two babies, one moment that felt like forever. And here's the interactive moment for you, lovely viewers. Imagine yourself in that quiet room. The soft music mobile spinning slowly. The rhythm of the twins breathing. The shared warmth between Minho and Haikyo as they leaned close, united by love and responsibility. If you were there, what would you feel? Peace, joy, a softness spreading across your chest. This is the kind of moment that reminds us what love really looks like. Not in grand gestures, not in flashy displays, but in the quiet choices we make for the ones who matter to us. As dawn slowly began to touch the sky, Minho finally closed his eyes, still sitting in that rocking chair, still holding Haikyo's hand. They drifted into a light sleep together, heads gently resting against each other, never once leaving the side of their twins. A few hours later, the first rays of sunlight peeked through the curtains, landing gently across the little cribs. Haikyo woke first, smiling as she watched Minho still sleeping upright, clearly exhausted but peaceful. She carefully placed a soft blanket over him and whispered, "You're an amazing father." And that, lovely viewers, is the unbelievable truth. Minho didn't just spend the night in the nursery. He spent the night proving that love isn't just spoken. It's shown moment by moment, choice by choice, heartbeat by heartbeat. Imagine how the twins will feel years from now when they learn that their father spent entire nights watching over them like they were the most precious treasures in his world. Imagine how this story will become part of their family legacy. Something told repeatedly during birthdays, family gatherings, and bedtime stories. And imagine, viewers, how you would react if you walked in on a scene like that in your own home. Would your heart melt instantly? Would you quietly take a picture? Or would you simply stand there like Haiko did, feeling blessed beyond words? This is the kind of love that makes the world stop. The kind that goes viral not because it's dramatic, but because it's real. If you felt the warmth of this moment, tap that like button gently, just like Minho tucking the twins' blankets. And tell me in the comments, what touched you the most about this unbelievable night? As the first morning rays bathed the nursery in a gentle glow, Minho slowly stirred in the rocking chair. His eyes fluttered open, still heavy from exhaustion, but the moment he saw the twins sleeping safely right where he left them, a new surge of energy filled his heart, the kind only love can give. He blinked a few times, noticed the blanket draped over him, and a soft smile formed, because he knew instantly that it was Haiko's doing. Lovely viewers, imagine waking up like that, with a person you love caring for you in the simplest, sweetest way. He turned his head slightly and saw Haiko already awake, watching him with that calm, glowing smile a mother wears after a long night of emotions. She reached out and brushed his hair back, whispering, "You didn't have to stay the whole night, you know." But Minho shook his head gently. "I wanted to. They're growing every minute. I don't want to miss anything." Haiko's eyes softened even more, and for a moment she couldn't respond. She just squeezed his hand, silently telling him she understood, because she felt the same way. And here's where the story becomes even more touching. Instead of leaving the nursery to start their day, they stayed together, like two guardians watching over the tiny miracles they created. The twins began to wiggle, those adorable sleepy morning stretches that babies do. One of them scrunched their little nose. The other slowly opened their eyes, blinking up toward the ceiling. Minho leaned forward, his voice barely louder than a breath, saying, "Good morning, sweetheart," as though speaking too loudly might break the magic of the moment. Imagine it, lovely viewers. His deep, gentle voice floating through the soft-lit room, mixing with the sound of sleepy yawns from the twins. Haiko stepped closer to one crib and gently stroked their tiny cheek. The baby's fingers opened and closed as if reaching for her, and the moment her finger touched theirs, those tiny hands wrapped around her like she was their whole world. Minho came to the other crib and watched as the second twin stretched, arms up, legs kicking in that cute baby way that makes every parent melt instantly. He leaned over and placed a soft kiss on their forehead, and that simple act, just a kiss, just a breath, made the baby relax again, eyes closing peacefully as though already knowing they were safe with him there. Now, lovely viewers, imagine the scene. The sun rising, the sound of birds outside. Two parents who didn't plan any of this, yet fell into the most perfect start to their morning. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't staged. It wasn't for cameras or Instagram stories. It was real life. Raw, intimate, and more beautiful than any drama Minho or Haiko had ever filmed. They started talking quietly, the way only two people who deeply understand each other can. Minho said, "I never knew I could love like this. I thought I understood what it meant to care for someone. But this is different, deeper." Haiko's voice trembled slightly with emotion as she replied, "It's like our hearts doubled overnight." He nodded. "Or maybe they multiplied, one for each of them." She laughed softly, a sound that seemed to float through the nursery like music. And viewers, you know that gentle laugh, the kind that carries years of healing, happiness, and hope. Then came a moment neither of them expected. One of the twins let out a tiny whimper, not quite a cry, just the kind of sound that means "I'm waking up, but I need a little something." Without hesitation, Minho reached down, lifted the baby carefully into his arms, and cradled them against his chest. Lovely viewers, if your heart hasn't melted yet, brace yourself. As soon as the baby felt Minho's warmth, they settled, head resting perfectly in the space between his shoulder and neck, as though they had been molded to fit there. He rocked gently, humming something so soft even Haiko couldn't make out the tune. But she recognized the expression on his face, the quiet awe of a man realizing just how much his life has changed. And then the second twin began to fuss. Haiko lifted them with practiced ease, her movements gentle and motherly, her touch soothing like a warm blanket. The nursery suddenly felt like a scene from a dream. A mother and father, each holding a baby, standing beside the softly glowing window, illuminated in morning gold. Viewers, imagine being a silent guest in that room, the air feeling thicker with love. The sight of Minho's hand supporting the baby's tiny back. The way Haiko lightly bounced the other twin, her face glowing with maternal grace. The twins making those adorable baby sounds. Tiny huffs, soft coos, little puffs of breath. At one point, Minho looked across at his wife and whispered, "Thank you." She blinked. "For what?" "For giving me this, for giving me them." She stepped closer, her free hand reaching to touch his cheek. "We gave them to each other," she whispered back. And that, lovely viewers, was the moment that sealed everything. The night he spent in the nursery, the morning that followed, the emotions that poured into their hearts. It all came together in that small exchange, in those 5 simple words. They spent the next hour in the nursery, playing gently with the twins, whispering to them about the world they would grow up in, laughing as one of the babies yawned wide enough to make both parents laugh softly. At one point, both twins were wide awake, eyes big and curious, staring up at their parents like they were trying to memorize their faces. Minho leaned close and whispered, "Appa's here," and the babies blinked as though trying to focus on the sound. Haiko murmured, "And Iyama too," and one twin reached toward her with a tiny hand. Lovely viewers, imagine being there. Imagine witnessing the kind of love that doesn't need grand gestures to be unforgettable. The video monitors were still on from the night before. The little mobile above the crib kept turning slowly. The morning breeze made the curtains sway softly. Everything was perfect, simple, real. And Minho, looking at everything, the babies, their mother, the room that now held the heart of his world, felt overwhelmed with a love so deep it left his eyes glistening. He wasn't tired anymore. He wasn't thinking of his schedules or responsibilities. He was simply a father who had found the greatest joy of his life in 2 tiny sleeping faces. Lovely viewers, this continuation is only the beginning. Because what happened after breakfast? What happened when the twins had their first giggles of the day? How did Minho surprise Haiko again before noon? How did the family moment grow into something even more touching? As the twins began cooing and reaching their tiny hands toward their parents, Minho instinctively scooped one up into his arms again, cradling them close while Haiko adjusted the other's blanket. The baby's laughter, yes, tiny, delicate, precious laughter, filled the room, and it was the kind of sound that makes everything else fade away. Even the outside world, with all its noise and chaos, seemed to pause. Minho looked down at the baby in his arms, eyes sparkling, and whispered, "You're my whole world," while Haiko's soft chuckle responded with, "And you're ours." Lovely viewers, picture the scene. 2 parents completely immersed in their children, taking the time to simply exist with them without rushing, without schedules, without distractions. The sunlight now streamed more fully through the curtains, glinting on Minho's hair, catching the sparkle in Haiko's eyes, highlighting the soft features of the twins' faces. Every detail of this simple morning was a reminder that love, in its most profound form, is found in the smallest gestures. And then came one of those magical parent moments that feel like a quiet miracle. One of the twins, who had been gazing up at Minho, suddenly extended their tiny hand toward his cheek, as if to say, "I see you, Appa." Minho's breath caught in his throat. He gently held the baby's hand in his palm, feeling that fragile connection, and murmured softly, "I see you too, sweetheart. Always." Haiko watched this quietly, heart swelling, and instinctively reached out to hold Minho's free hand, creating a circle of warmth that enveloped all 4 of them. Lovely viewers, imagine the intimacy here. No one outside this room could ever fully grasp it, because it's a type of connection that's completely private, completely sacred. It's not about social media posts or public appearances. It's about shared smiles over sleepy yawns, soft whispers in the quiet morning, and little hands grasping at parents who would move mountains for them. As the twins settled again in their cribs for a short nap, Minho and Haiko sat side by side on the floor, leaning back against the soft nursery couch. He wrapped an arm around her, and she rested her head against his shoulder. They didn't speak at first, just soaked in the feeling of family, the way the air seemed lighter when they were together, the way love itself felt tangible in the quiet of the morning. After a few minutes, Minho whispered almost to himself, "I can't believe how lucky we are." Haiko looked up, her eyes shimmering, and said, "It's not luck, it's love. We made this together." And lovely viewers, isn't that the truth we all hope for? That the most beautiful moments in life come from love freely given and freely shared. But the surprises weren't over yet. As they sat there, the twins began to stir once more. This time they were more awake, stretching their little arms, making small squeaks, and showing the first signs of the playful personalities that would bloom in the days to come. Minho laughed softly and scooped them up simultaneously, one in each arm, and they both immediately quieted, as if they instinctively knew they were safe. Haiko reached out to brush Minho's hair back gently, smiling in awe at the strength and tenderness combined in this quiet superhero of a father. Lovely viewers, picture this moment in your minds. The three of them, perfectly framed in the soft morning light, each movement slow and deliberate, each gesture filled with pure intention. Even their breathing seemed synchronized, a small family heartbeat in the peaceful room. And then Minho did something utterly unforgettable. He leaned down, pressing a gentle kiss to the top of each twin's head, whispering promises in a hushed tone, promises of love, safety, and guidance for every day to come. Haiko's eyes glistened as she watched, feeling an overwhelming surge of gratitude, not just for Minho, but for the life they had built together. She reached out to hold his face, and for a moment, all that existed in the world was the four of them. The two parents, the two babies, wrapped together in a cocoon of love, protection, and awe. And here's the part, lovely viewers, that truly makes this story inclusive and universal. We all have moments in life where we wish we could just pause, to savor, to watch quietly, to be present without distractions. Minho's choice to spend a night in the nursery isn't just a story about fame or celebrity. It's a reminder to all of us that love is in the details. It's in the sleepless nights, the whispered words, the gentle touches, the laughter, and even the small sighs that speak volumes. It's in choosing to witness the lives of those we care about fully, with intention and heart. As the morning stretched on, the twins finally began to doze again, and Minho and Haiko carefully placed them back in their cribs. They sat together, watching them sleep, whispering about the milestones they couldn't wait to witness. The first crawl, the first words, the first steps. Lovely viewers, if your heart isn't swelling right now, take a deep breath and imagine yourself in that quiet nursery, soaking in the love, the hope, the connection. And just when you think the moment couldn't get any more heartwarming, Minho looked at Haiko and said, "Let's promise to always be this present, no matter how busy life gets. Let's never miss these moments." Haiko nodded, her voice soft but certain. "Always. For them, for us." Lovely viewers, that is the kind of love that transcends words, the kind that teaches us all to pause, to cherish, and to celebrate the little things that truly matter.